Dr. Kyle Harner from Carolina Arthritis Center. Are joint pain and stiffness holding you back? At Carolina Arthritis Center in Greenville, we're here to help you move forward. Our board-certified rheumatologist and trained nurse practitioners specialize in diagnosing and treating inflammatory arthritis, lupus, osteoporosis, and other autoimmune conditions. With on-site lab testing, digital x-rays, bone density scans, and infusion therapy, we provide comprehensive care all under one roof. Since 2001, we've been committed to personalized, compassionate care for patients across Eastern North Carolina. Take the first step towards better health today. Call Carolina Arthritis Center at 252-321-8474, 252-321-8474, or visit carolina-arthritis.com. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Pitt County, good morning, West Africa, good morning, South Africa, good morning to the rest of the world. You're tuned into Pitt's Perspectives on Awesome Radio Network, your community's go-to show for conversations, connection, and culture. As always, I'm your host, Victor, and I'm thrilled to be here with my well, you guys have been mostly amazing lately, and a little annoying. But yeah, so I'm here with my mostly annoying or mostly amazing lately and some annoying guys. What's up, fellas? AY and Patrick, how have you guys been?
Good
Good morning,
morning,
good morning.
everyone. Good morning, Pitt County. Good morning, Greenville. Good morning from wherever in the world you're listening to us
Yeah.
from. It feels good to be here this morning, and it's a beautiful Saturday and a special one too. I
Yeah.
want to say Happy Independence Day
Yeah.
weekend to all
Shout
our
out to
listeners
America.
out
Shout out to America.
there.
Yeah, happy birthday, America.
Yeah.
Bro, that's incredible.
Yeah, big shout out to America and everyone who.
Yeah, land of freedom,
Yeah.
food and fireworks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
great,
one
great
to the
stuff.
two to the three.
Yeah,
Patrick.
it's good morning Africa, good morning South America, good morning North America, and good morning Asia, Australia, and Oceania. Yeah, good morning everybody. You know, it's an amazing Saturday morning. It's Patrick once again on the 1, the 2, the 3, the awesome radio. Yesterday was really amazing. We went
yeah?
to see the
Yeah.
fireworks. It was
it was good.
a spectacle to behold, right?
I
Yeah,
can
it was.
imagine.
It
Yeah, I
was.
was seeing another
Considering the fact that
firework.
was actually my first time of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the last time out, I was just in my room chilling.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's what I do. That's what I do
That's
most times.
interesting.
Really.
Yeah. Anyways,
So yeah, it was actually
Yeah.
interesting. At least more interesting than I thought it would be. So
yeah. Anyways, hope you all had a safe and joyful 4th of July. From backyard barbecues to downtown fireworks shows, it's all about celebrating community and liberty. And what better way to keep that energy going than with some real talk this morning?
Yeah, you know it.
Cool.
We know it. You know, every week we bring you stories and conversations that matter. And today, we're digging deep into a powerful topic. But before that, as always, let's catch up on what's been happening around the East.
Yes. So I'm going to start here this
Yeah,
morning
here is our
with-
top community
Yeah.
news, proudly brought to you by Carolina Arthritis Center, helping Eastern North Carolina move better every day. AY, let's do it.
All right. So the first news says Evans and Fifth intersection reopens in time for the 4th.
Yes, downtown Greenville got a much needed facelift just in time for Independence Day after months of construction. The intersection of Evans and 5th Streets officially reopened on the 4th of July. Crews with Trader Construction put the finishing touches on brick crosswalks and temporary stripping earlier in the week, finally restoring access to one of the city's busiest corners. Local businesses like the Holistico and Nash Hot Chicken say the reopening is long overdue, with some owners calling the last few months an eyesore and earsore. Still, they are hopeful the new look will drive foot traffic back to the area and fast. The project is part of Greenville's $48.5 million Build Streetscape and Greenway initiative.
All right. The next news here is PCC relaunches paramedic training program after 10 years.
Yes, big news for aspiring EMS professionals. Pitt Community College has brought back its non-credit paramedic training program after a 10-year hiatus. This new hybrid course kicked off with 28 emergency workers balancing careers and coursework. The 1200-hour program blends online and in-person instruction, covering everything from emergency response to hospital field work. Leading the charge is Abby Mackenzie, a PCC grad turned full-time instructor whose return to campus brings a full circle moment for the college. The course is designed to meet growing demands while supporting working professionals in the field.
Yes, so I think we'll go on a break after this
Yes,
headline.
yes,
So, but
yes.
I think I'll just put out the headline before we go. So,
Yeah.
need-based scholarship applications open Tuesday at PCC.
Yes, we're still live on Awesome Radio Network. We'll get back to top community news after the break. Don't touch the dial.
We'll be right back.
I am Miss Mary Cox. I'm Keller Pickpen's mother from Awesome Radio.
I'm Dr. Kyle Harner from Carolina Arthritis Center. Living with arthritis or joint pain doesn't have to limit your life. At Carolina Arthritis Center in Greenville, we're Eastern North Carolina's only private, single specialty rheumatology clinic dedicated exclusively to your joint health. Our experienced team offers comprehensive care all under one roof. From consultations and joint injections to on-site laboratory, x-ray, bone density testing, and our specialized infusion suite. No more running around to multiple locations for your arthritis evaluation. When you need expert rheumatology care, choose the specialist who focus solely on conditions like yours every single day. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your mobility and comfort are our main priority. Call 252-321-8474 or visit carolina-arthritis.com to schedule your consultation today. Again, that number is 252-321-8474. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins.
Yes. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're live on Awesome Radio Network. And we're still here on Pitt Perspectives, your number one community show where we share stories, celebrate culture, and inspire communities here in Eastern North Carolina and beyond. And just before we went on that break, we were bringing you the top community news recap, proudly presented by Carolina Arthritis Center. Yes. AY, can you give us the headline again? Yes.
The headline again. So, need-based scholarship applications open Tuesday at PCC.
Yes, heads up, students. Pitt Community College will begin accepting applications for its need-based scholarship this Tuesday, July 8th. To qualify, students must submit a FAFSA and demonstrate financial need. With limited funds available, early applications are encouraged. The deadline is July 31st or until funds run out. If you have any questions, reach out to Kim Simpkins at 493-7902 or email kgsimpkins818 at my.pittcc.edu. kgsimpkins818 at my.pittcc.edu. Let's go.
All right. The next news here says student built house at PCC goes to auction. Bidding starts at $100,000.
Yes. It's impressive because, this seems like an update to some of the news we've brought here in the past. So last week or so, you remember we talked about how Pitt Community College opted out of the student loan thing.
Yeah.
So this is an update on that as far as, need-based scholarship. And then with the house, we also reported, I think earlier, sometime last month about, the program they have where students are actually building actual buildings to, get the experience. Yes, a home built entirely by Pitt Community College students. It's hitting the market. Located on campus, the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house was constructed as part of hands-on training across Pitt's building construction, HVAC, and electrical programs. Bidding starts at $100,000 and runs through July 28. Interested buyers can tour the house by contacting Crystal Bosman at PCC. It's a win-win, a quality home built to code and students getting real-world experience. You all think you guys should, participate in the auction for the
Yeah,
house?
the what's it called now?
The what?
The ISA house you wanted you
They're trying to
you
set
wanted
me up.
to
Yeah,
buy.
let's go. What do we have on the news?
Yeah, moving on, we have ECU and PCC sign new transfer pathway for tech students.
Yes, East Carolina University and Pitt Community College officially inked a transfer agreement that guarantees PCC Tech students admission to ECU's Industrial Technology Program. The deal helps associate degree holders from 14 AAS programs transition smoothly into ECU's nationally recognized BSIT degree with online options and credit transfers up to 75 hours. This pathway is designed for working students aiming to level up. ECU's program boasts a transfer success rate 10% above the national average, a model other universities are watching closely.
Yeah, and moving on, we have ECU summer camps. I mean, yeah, ECU art camps offer creative pipeline for local talent.
Yes, this summer, ECU's College of Fine Arts is alive with creativity. From 3D design and ceramics to jazz band and musical theater, hundreds of students are attending camps that blend talent building with fun. One camper, Taylor O'Neill, is using the experience to prepare for her freshman year at ECU. Meanwhile, returning campers like Havelock High's Jacob Crocker say the music camp helps them stay sharp and meet new peers. Final performances and art showcases wrap up each camp, giving families a chance to see what the young artists have created. Registration is still open for upcoming theater and dance camps in July and August.
Yeah, and we have South Central High launches drone program this fall.
Yes, aviation dreams are becoming reality in Pitt County. South Central High is launching a drone piloting program this fall thanks to a grant from Elizabeth City State University's Aviation Workforce Development Initiative. Students will get hands-on experience with flight simulators, virtual reality, and drone pilot prep, plus a chance to earn drone licenses. It's part of a larger effort to link students with emerging careers in STEM, agriculture, construction, and more. Additional programs in mental health, natural resources, and cybersecurity are also set to debut in Pitt County schools this August. That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And then moving on, we have Greenville United FC hosts final home game tonight against Port City.
Yeah, let's get it. G-U-S-C, G-U-S-C, G-U-S-C. Ja la 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 la. Yes, yes, yes. It's game night in Greenville. Greenville United Football Club faces off against Port City FC tonight at 7 p.m. in our final home game of the season. In our final game of the season, the Bucks have been nearly unbeatable at home, dropping just one game all season. Hey, come enjoy food, drinks, bounce houses, and a high energy crowd. Whether you're a diehard in the Box Brigade or new to the Greenville Hooligans, this is your last chance to catch the squad in action on home turf this summer. Hey guys, I feel it's like a bittersweet memory, because it's been amazing all season, sharing
Last week was
Sharing, right?
Was
a lot of fun. Yeah, I saw you. This dude had so much energy. He felt like he was in Manchester.
I hope we can recreate that today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's because
Yeah, it
it
probably
reminded me of those days at the female soccer.
Oh yeah,
team
yeah,
at
yeah. ECU women's
Yeah,
soccer. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
always- it's always-
Yeah, in the fall too. We'll try and bring some energy.
Yeah.
Yes, guys, this is all we have today for you all at in our top community news recap, proudly presented by Carolina Arthritis Center.
Yes.
Now for our community voices section, and this it's for everyone who has ever looked at the screen and thought, where am I? So today we are asking, how does what we watch shape how we see ourselves? We are talking about how representation matters and how global media influences local identity, guys.
Yeah, pop culture is everywhere from Hollywood to Nollywood, K-drama, anime, different industries. But with all that global reach, there's something in us that still craves for local stories and then we want to feel seen, through all of this media expression. So
Right.
we want to hear your voices, that sound like ours.
Yeah, and it's our studio lines are open at 252
Yeah, 756
2008.
Yeah, we want to hear
And
from you. Yeah.
yeah, we really want to hear from you, and
We,
call in and let us know what
you know,
how local media
and
shapes.
then like what TV show, what character, what movie have you watched recently that you connected with? Would like to hear
Culturally, yeah.
from you. And I think Ewa, you're the film guy here, I guess. I know you probably were jumping up when you saw this topic. Yeah, so I guess I'd like to start with sort of trying to get you guys' opinion about your top three. Could be a show, it could be a movie, it could be anything. What's in your top three?
Maybe we should start with Patrick.
Oh, so you won't take all the time, right? All right, let's see how
Not
much we can get in
It's
before the
just
break.
that when we talk about favorite shows or favorite films or things like that, there are so many of them, right?
Obviously,
And-
that's why you have
and
to.
trying to bring three together might take some thinking and all of that. But I mean, off the top of my head, there are some films that I would naturally go for. Maybe
Like?
not necessarily my favorites. One of them is the one I recommended on the show the other day, Shawaride, which is a Nigerian film.
Shower it, okay.
Yeah. I think from Hollywood, I won't say one of my favorite film, but like one film that I really liked watching was Schindler's List. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name.
Shane Leslie's. I think
It's,
I've heard
a
something
German name,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing correctly, but like
Who cares?
yeah,
But go ahead.
it was really a very, very interesting movie
Right.
that I really
So
loved.
Showery Day, Schindler's List.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think those two for now.
Oh yeah.
let me leave it
Yes,
at
we're
that.
still live on Awesome Radio Network, and we'll be going on a quick break. Don't touch the dial. We'll see you all after the break.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
I am Miss Mary Cox. I'm Killer Thigpen's mother from Awesome Radio.
Emmaus Travels and Transport, your trusted partner in transportation for over 20 years. At Emmaus Travels and Transport, we meet all your transportation needs reliably and professionally. Our services include, but are not limited to, wheelchair accessible and special needs transportation, airport transfers, medical appointments, personal and custom transport requests. We proudly employ only top-tier drivers with clean driving records and background checks. Safety is our top priority, and we utilize cutting-edge vehicle technology to ensure a smooth and secure ride every time. Whether you're seeking dependable transportation or looking to join our team, we invite you to contact us today at 252-412-3169. Again, that is 252-412-3169. That is Emmaus Travels and Transport, driven by care, powered by excellence.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're live on Awesome Radio Network, and it's your favorite weekend trio. It's Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio Network. Yes. And just before we went on the break, we were talking about, representation in media and how, global media influences local culture and identity, and how what we watch in movies, shapes us. And just before we went on that break, AY was giving us his top three movies, TV shows or whatever. And just before we get back to him, I'll encourage you, I want to hear from you all. The lines are 252-756-2008. Yeah, so
Yes.
Showery Day,
Shawaride, yes.
Schindler's List.
Yes.
What's the third one?
So I'm between 12 Angry Men and Road to Perdition. Road to Perdition because
Is that like a Nigerian or a Hollywood, the two of them?
They're both
Okay.
Hollywood.
See, I didn't even know
I
that.
liked Road to Perdition because of the opening. And
Oh, okay.
so I watched it while I was in film school, and that opening was just, for me, was something. So let me see if I can narrate it very quickly. There was this little boy who was going in the direction, and every other person on that street
Was
was a
going
busy
in
street,
the-
like
yeah.
kind of New
Right.
York kind of busy
Right.
street, was going in the opposite direction.
Okay.
And the boy was going the
And
other
the camera
direction.
was following him.
And he was just, I cannot forget that entrance.
Oh, yeah?
It meant a lot without saying anything.
Right.
The fact that everybody on the street was going this way,
Yeah.
and this other person was going the other way, already told me so much I needed to know before
Okay.
even starting the movie. And I just loved the movie
Impressive.
for that.
So, Shawarida, what did you like about it?
Shawarida was a political satire in that
Oh,
sense
okay.
about how the democracy in Nigeria,
Okay.
right? From democracy to military rule, then
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Mhm.
it was a very, very interesting one, and that's what. And another thing that endeared me to Shawarida is the fact that I watched it as a kid.
Yeah, with your
And
grandfather.
then
then
yes,
you
and then I
mentioned
kept watching and watching
Right.
like every year.
Mm.
So I liked the message. It told a lot about our journey as a
Mhm.
people from democracy, and some of the things that corrupt leaders did
Mhm.
that brought in the military, and
Mhm.
then how, of course, it's not a true life story, right? But
Oh,
it was
okay.
like, it was.
But he had roots in.
Yeah, of
you
course.
know,
It was,
I mean,
it's satire. So,
right.
they told the story from a different angle, and it made a lot of. I think you should probably see the movie. I
Oh,
think you
yeah?
should. It made
Yes.
sense, and I loved that.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Schindler's List too talked about the era where people were working. It was, I think, set in the time after the war or
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah?
was. It
That's
was
a-
a really
that's
nice
impressive.
one.
So,
yeah.
Mr. Mbaya, Patrick
Yes.
Lufuluwabo.
Yes.
Amigo. Hola. Yeah. Yes. So, Patrick, what's your top three? TV shows, movies?
Yeah, I'll start
anything?
off by saying that I'm not a big movies fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to be when I was younger, but
Bro, you're still young, bro.
when I was way younger than this, I
Wow.
am old now. I'm 22. When I was younger, I used to be into movies until I was like 14, 15. I was no longer into movies.
Okay.
Yeah, because they build this suspense and this interest, and
Right.
then just for an hour, and then it's done. You know?
Okay.
I think I felt that way when I discovered series. Ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you
my
can't
favorite,
binge.
I'm a big fan of thrillers and
Okay. Horror.
no, not horror.
Oh, okay.
Conspiracy
Why
and
should
Okay.
anyone like her?
yeah.
I mean-
I don't like horror.
I know.
Far from
do.
it. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
let them come for you, bro.
Like, why should anyone? I've seen a couple of horror movies that I liked,
Okay.
but
yeah, it's
I
not
think the
your
only
first
horror
choice.
movie I ever liked was maybe Scary Movie 1, but that's just because it was funny, not because it was.
Jaws. Does Jaws count as
I've,
a
not, I've
I've
probably
not
never
seen
seen
Jaws?
it. I've not
Okay.
seen
not seen Jaws.
Have you seen the one with this dude that had like a what's it called? The thing
They
you
saw?
yeah, chainsaw.
Yeah, Michael Myers. I know him and I know the whole
Like
thing.
the
but
movie, I
yeah,
mean, it was weird. Dude was.
Yeah,
I don't even wanna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your top three?
My top
Tell us.
3 has to be I don't know if anybody knows 24.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Jack
yeah,
Bauer.
Yes,
Oh
Jack
yeah,
Bauer.
yeah. I watched Jack Bauer a
Yeah,
lot
Jack
too.
Bauer.
A lot of
Yeah.
suspense and a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of twists and turns. That's what I like. I like the twists, the turns.
You know, just
the plot. and-
just so you had that, it's amazing. We were talking about how media influences how we see the world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like one of the things Jack Bauer did, 24 did, was
Yeah.
to sort of make you realize or think, maybe not even realize, think about how there is so much more going on from
Yeah.
real life,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
behind the scene, especially in the world of like politics and
Yeah.
terrorism and all of those things too. I think it was interesting, and then you think Jack Bauer is done with, and then like
Yeah, all
last
of a
minute
sudden,
dude
yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
too,
I think
you know.
another movie that did that for me was Designated Survivor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it was him
Designated
too.
Survivor. Interestingly, it was
Kiefer
the same guy,
Sutherland.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, and the
Kiefer
only reason
Sutherland.
why people watch Designated
Yeah,
Survivor
was
is because
because
they were
of
big
him,
fans of
yeah.
24 and they thought it would
Yeah.
be the same thing.
Yeah,
Except
Jack
he was not that involved in the action.
bro. And then
Yeah.
there was this lady that worked with him
Oh.
at CTU, Chloe O'Brien.
Yeah, Chloe
Who
O'Brien.
was like
yeah.
the
Yeah,
she
the
was like the
brains behind
baddest,
everything,
yeah, and she
yeah.
was weird. So I think she was special.
Yeah, Chloe was very good. She was.
Oh yeah,
very
yeah.
she was-
24 is
Yeah, she was a great. I
Yeah.
feel like she was a great. I think she'd be like a
partner
great.
in crime.
Not
or
yeah, not
something.
just that, but a computer scientist.
Yeah, that's
She was
the
a
whole
big-
point. Yeah, she was like a
big-
whiz.
Yeah, she was like a big
you know.
computer guru.
And Jack trusted her a
Well,
lot,
with
so
his
she was
life-
gonna
with
do.
his life
Yup.
too, because
Yep.
even when he was on the run, he would
Yep.
tell her everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm glad 24 resonated.
Yeah.
Both,
Yeah, I mean, I watched 24 too.
yeah, with both
Yeah.
my
Amigos.
Yeah, 3 amigos.
Yeah, we found these two guys some
Amigos.
Yeah.
some amigo names too.
The 3 amigos, the 3 musketeers.
Bro, we've been moving stuff, man. Bro, we started this as a joke, but I mean, I don't know what the universe is doing.
Yeah. Anyways, my
Like, yeah.
second movie, my second, I don't know,
It's,
I don't
yeah,
know
TV show,
where
yeah,
this
yeah,
was
yeah,
going
yeah,
with
yeah.
the moving stuff. I'll
Yeah.
bring it back to the
You're
movie.
always running from your calling, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
and then my other one would be I'm a big fan of Chris Hemsworth. I don't know. if
Okay, yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Hemsworth. I
Yeah,
think he
and
did the
Thor.
Okay, Thor.
Yes,
Okay,
Thor, obviously. But then aside from Thor and Avengers Endgame and all the Marvel movies, I would say
Extraction. So I
Extraction
think he did
is my
Extraction.
favorite Chris
Oh, yeah?
Hemsworth movie because of how like this is more him, you know.
Mm.
It's more. I'm a big fan of also the Navy and
Oh
the
yeah, I
Army.
love action.
And so
Yep.
yes, so that theme of the
Yeah.
soldier that is facing this
Adversity
and then, yes,
all that.
adversity,
Yeah.
but then he's also still trying to
Okay.
be this helpful.
Right.
Resonates with me as well.
That's the second.
Yes, and then this should have been at the top of my list, but I was just going through what was
Mhm.
coming in my head. Black
Mhm.
Panther.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah?
that has to be my
Yeah.
favorite. If
Oh, for
not-
real?
Yes, because this was the first time I was seeing South African culture on American TV.
Oh,
or
yeah?
American. Yeah, because Black Panther came in there. Don't get me wrong. They had actual South African actors
Yeah.
in Black Panther. You know, Mam Kiti, who we watched from Rhythm City, which is a South African television show.
Mhm.
She like co-starred, and we watched her go to America and star in the
Oh,
movie.
yeah?
Yeah, it was so amazing. Like it was.
Again, we talk about representation
Yeah,
in the media and
representation, yeah.
global how
Mhm.
global media affects
Yeah.
local
Yeah.
identity.
But
too.
so
It's
I
interesting
mean,
too.
just hold that thought. It's going to continue. But
Okay.
off that thought, it
Uh-huh.
reminded me of when Victor told us that he asked someone to
Oh,
guess
yeah.
where he's from,
Yeah.
and the person said Wakanda.
Yeah, that was insane. I still remember, but I've had some really
Oh,
amazing
dear
things
Lord.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do this thing where if you ask me where I'm from, I'll tell you to guess, and then try to walk you through, okay, you can't guess, okay, I give you a clue, and then you say whatever place, and we try to walk around.
Yeah.
And then I told someone to guess where I'm from, and they said Wakanda. So apparently, but it also buttresses the fact too of
yeah,
how
media
powerful
thing.
how
Yeah.
powerful media is, and I
Yes.
think stereotypes too are sort
I
of
think
reinforced.
that's actually the funniest.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like
That's
dear Lord.
wild, bro. Like
Yeah.
I've had everything. I've had someone.
And
ask
it's
me-
crazy that some people think Wakanda is a real place.
Yeah,
that
that's
is-
too.
It's not a real
That
place.
too. I
Um,
mean,
I know the whole story is supposed to be set in South Africa. There's no place in South Africa.
in the world, even there's no
Yeah.
place in Africa called Wakanda.
Yeah, it's called
No.
Wakanda.
It's
And so,
a
but there is a
fictional
language. The
place.
language that is being spoken in Black Panther is
Was-
Xhosa, but
Is
like
what?
the Xhosa.
Okay.
Yes,
Awesome.
no Xhosa, and there's some truth, like there's some actual Xhosa in it, even though there's
Oh, yeah?
some mumbling and some
That is
random words.
interesting.
But yeah, it's,
I'll tell you.
yeah.
I'll say something when we get back from the break. We're still here on Awesome Radio Network. We'll be back on Pitt Perspectives after the break.
Don't touch the dial.
You're listening to Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM, 1570 AM. Christian media with the spirit of excellence.
From the Pacific Justice Institute, this is The Legal Edge, defending your rights as a Christian, a parent, and a citizen. Here's Brad Pecos.
In Washington, a Christian-owned women's spa was told they had to allow biological males into their private spaces. The owners said no. They stood their ground for truth, safety, and biblical values. In response, the state shut their business down. That is when Pacific Justice Institute stepped in. We are now representing them in court, and this battle is far from over. Folks, this is a direct challenge to religious freedom. It may head to the Supreme Court, and we are ready for the fight, and we will not give up.
Learn more about our ministry and get exclusive email updates by registering for the Legal Insider at pji.org. Remember the website, pji.org.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're here live on Pitt Perspectives on Awesome Radio. It's your favorite weekend trio, Victor, AY, and Patrick. And for today, we're talking about media. We're talking about, how media shapes the way we see the world, how media influences our lives. We talk about representation in media, and we are asking folks, what's a show, what's a TV show, what's a movie, what's something you watched recently that you connected, or even what's a story you'd like to see, sort of told more in media and all that. Yes, so AY had given us his top three, show, movies, everything. And Patrick,
Yeah.
did you top three 24?
Yeah, I said 24. What do you call
Extraction?
Extraction
and
and
Black Panther.
oh yeah, Black Panther. Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. So I've noticed that in most Hollywood movies that try to portray the African culture, the accents are always
The same.
the same.
And
What
Can't
are you
forever.
doing, my brother?
Yes.
I told you I was, and it makes people think, oh, this is how
Yeah,
everyone
sounds,
sounds in
yeah,
Africa,
yeah.
which is wild because Nigeria alone has tons of different accents.
Yeah.
See, you get what I'm sure, even in
Yeah.
South Africa, which is also interesting because from a regional perspective, you can tell a West African from their accent, and you can tell sort of like an East African too from their accents. And I think it's probably difficult to figure this out if you're not from Africa or any of those things too.
So, talking about the accent thing,
Oh,
I think it's the languages that influence.
Yeah,
and that's
obviously,
why,
obviously.
for example, your accent is quite different from mine because we don't
Obviously.
speak the same language.
Yeah, I mean,
So talking about West African too,
Yeah.
I'm sure I don't sound Ghanaian.
Okay.
So a Ghanaian can hear me and will know that I'm not Ghanaian because I don't sound.
I mean, like,
so they have
regionally,
languages in Ghana that influence the accent, and I
Right.
think it was Trevor Noah that said
Yeah.
about accents that
Yeah.
if somebody is speaking in a different accent, it means they are fluent in another language.
Yes.
Okay.
That you are most likely not fluent in. That's
Okay.
why you
Yes.
think they have a
Right.
different accent.
So something I would say to that is you also have to understand that as much as say Yoruba or Hausa or they
Yeah.
are different languages,
Yeah.
most regional languages come from the same language branch.
Okay, how do you mean?
Like there are Bantu languages, for instance,
Okay.
that have just like English is, I think it's Germanic language. English is German. Yep,
Wow, I
yep.
didn't know that.
It has roots in German and all that. Yeah, languages have.
Well, English is a hybrid language. It has.
Okay.
Oh, we
I
have a
think
caller
we
on the
have
line.
Oh, what?
a call.
Okay. Good morning. You're live on Awesome Radio Network. Good morning.
Who do we have here?
Okay, this voice sounds familiar. Who do we have on the line?
Before I will tell you who we have on the line, I want to say good morning to AY, good morning to Patrick.
Yes. Good
Good
morning.
morning to
Yes.
did I say good morning to Victor or not?
Why are you putting my enemies before me? Yeah?
No, he
And
forgot. He.
Wow.
Good morning to Africa, Nigeria, good morning to and good morning to all the Chelsea fans out there.
Yeah, the Blues.
You've not introduced
And
yourself.
good morning to the Box Brigade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real football.
Yes.
All right, this is regular fella Onyemeyo.
Yeah, Onyemeyo. Yes. Good morning, my brother. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm pretty much good. I'm just waking up.
Oh
because
wow.
I had a lot of fun yesterday. Yeah, Independence Day.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That's
It's
great.
very, very awesome.
That's great. Good to hear from you, man. Yes, we were talking about media and representation and movies and all of that. Yes, so let us know. So let's start with this. What's your top three favorite TV shows or movies or any of those things?
Like Patrick said, let me say the same. I'm not used to watching movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will try and mention one which have interested me so much.
Mm-hmm.
And TV shows, I'm not too good in watching TV shows, but the film which I have watched that influenced me is Queen of South. Don't know if
Queen
any
of
of
the
you have watched
South?
Queen of South.
Hmm.
Queen of the South, yeah.
Mm.
It's an American Mexican movie, you know. So it's a seasonal movie though,
Hmm.
but I learned a lot from the movie. Understand, which is consistency
Oh wow.
and loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
and also the movie also tells me there is time for everything.
There's time for
There
everything
is
you said.
time,
Wow.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's
sure,
powerful.
yeah. There is time for you to become an errand person, maybe a slave, and there is time for you to become the boss, the
Hmm.
boss man.
Hmm.
You know, so
Do you hear
it
that,
makes
Patrick?
me also to understand that there is no hurry
Hmm.
in whatever you believe in.
Powerful.
Yeah, there's no hurry in whatever you believe in because whatever you believe in must surely, um, I don't know how to place it, but whatever you believe in and you keep on doing it,
Yeah.
it must surely be yours.
Hmm.
Let me just put it like that.
That's
So it's
amazing.
a very, very interesting movie.
Wow,
Hey.
Queen of the
that's
South.
great.
So that's the only one I can say for now because
Hmm.
I'm not
That's
a
amazing.
movie type of person.
You've got me curious. So I'll definitely go and check out Queen of the South.
Queen of the
You know,
South.
that's amazing,
The,
man.
the major the most interesting thing there is that the major uh, person in that film is a woman,
Oh
Teresa
wow.
Mendoza.
Oh, Queen,
Understand?
right?
She's very calm, very focused,
Like me.
and very intentional. Yeah, sure. Understand? So if you can go and check it out,
Yeah, I
and
will. I will. I
it's
will.
gonna be
Hey,
awesome.
it's amazing. It's amazing having you on the show every time, Onyemayo. We appreciate your support. You know, very soon at some point we'll start, organizing like live events and something,
Yeah.
to definitely put some faces behind some of the people that listen and some of the people that call in. Well,
Yeah.
it's been amazing, being with you, Onyemayo. How are you spending the rest of your day, man?
Man, there is no plan for now, but all I know is that 7 o'clock I'm gonna be at the Pope John Paul to cheer the Bucks.
Yeah.
GUFC, yes. Yes, 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 man.
Alrighty.
Amazing, amazing talking
Thank
to you,
you.
man. Definitely. Have a good rest of your day, brother.
All right, bro. You
Yeah.
too.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Oyemeo Onyemeo,
Onyemayo, Onyemayo.
our
Yes.
regular
That was
caller.
amazing.
Yes.
Queen of the
So
South. I'm definitely going to look it up. So, my top three would be difficult because, again, I think I'm more like of a documentary person
okay.
than, yeah, I've watched
Yeah,
tons
I
of
mean, you could be a
documentaries.
Yeah,
documentary
it could be a
too.
Yeah,
documentary. Yeah.
around,
Because that's part of global media we're
definitely.
talking
I've
about.
watched documentaries about actually one of the interesting documentaries I watched just this past couple of days was How Crime Works.
Mm.
So I think it's Business Insider. They have a channel on YouTube, that sort of talks about how crime works, from like money laundering, how, it works, and you realize how, unfortunately, some of the sports we love is actually a conduit for, money laundering. And there is a whole thing
Oh, wow.
around, sports, um, image laundering, how folks who make money through sinister means actually get into sports, sponsorships and all that. But I think one of the ones I watched too lately is how is about corruption in FIFA. Actually, how much corruption there is, around bidding for World Cup, for instance, and then you realize how there are like you need to have consultants and how much money that goes into trying to bid for World Cup
Competition,
and all that. I mean, it was interesting too.
By
to see-
bid, wait, sorry to cut you off. By bid for World Cup, you mean bidding to host the World Cup?
Yep,
Yes,
bidding
yes.
to host the world, definitely. And
So our
yeah,
listeners are on the same
bid. I
page.
mean, yeah. So how much corruption that goes into something like that, and it's also interesting to, I think it was in that conversation that Panama Papers came up. Because when the whole thing leaked, I think a couple years ago, it was a big deal. So I went, searching obviously for around those things. So it turns out Panama Papers, it was named, Panama because the actual firm is headquartered in Panama, even though it has offices in a couple places in the US. So essentially, this firm, this, I think it's like a law agency or something, they they are working, or they've worked with more than 500,000 clients. Like, they can literally do anything. You know how they put someone on economic sanction, for instance, they go through third party and still enable people do businesses even though they are sanctioned. They help people like set up shell companies, to take, bro, it was interesting to realize just how huge the world is, and all the systems too and all that. Yeah, so yes, documentaries, how crime works, I don't know, but it was interesting to learn that. I loved, what's this movie with, in the bleak midwinter, what's that movie? It's like in Ireland, the guy with the papa's
Peaky
cap.
Blinders.
Yes, Peaky
Peaky
Blinders.
Blinders.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Peaky Blinders.
You see it?
Sheldon.
Yeah, you like
Shelby,
it?
yeah, I like
Shelby.
Peaky
Yeah,
Blinders.
I like.
Funny enough,
Yeah, I liked
watched
Peaky
the
Blinders.
first season of Peaky Blinders.
And you didn't like it?
I liked it sort
Okay.
of.
Yeah,
And then
kind
I
of, yeah.
tried watching the second one.
Right.
But you
could not
couldn't,
just finish.
yeah.
So, but I
It was-
think one of the things I
it
kind
wasn't bad.
Nah,
but
yeah.
I just felt like he probably didn't live up to the
Up to
hype.
his- yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
had in
something
mind.
else too was, I mean, for me actually was, just having, I don't know how accurate it is, again, movies and TV shows, but just having a view into that time,
Yeah.
of the world, and to see how different, it was from right now. Now morality is a big deal. You need to act right and all that, but to see how people responded to, the time they found themselves in, because this was, I think, immediately after the war,
Yeah.
or even there was still some war going on and all that. And then the culture, I think it was the Irish culture, if
It is,
you
Irish
know,
culture.
yeah, and then the accent too was interesting too.
Thomas
Shelby, yeah,
Shelby.
Thomas Shelby too. He was a stylish man,
Yeah.
and then I liked, the style too. And then I think his older brother was probably my favorite. And then talking about favorites too, I kind of liked Prison Break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Prison Break was another one.
Prison Break was influential because I mean a lot of us too saw Prison Break then.
So interestingly, I started watching Prison Break just last year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Prison Break.
Oh, yeah, I was very surprised
After,
when you said
after
you
the
watched it,
first
yeah.
2 seasons, I could not continue to because I felt it
It's
was
just a drag.
too,
you said.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
But
So-
by the time I got to the 3rd season, I stopped.
So
Maybe
it's-
that's why I don't watch too much of series.
Oh yeah.
So
So
one
guys,
series I know I watched and I enjoyed and I finished was
Mhm.
Game of Thrones. I
Oh,
watched
yeah, Game of
season 1
Thrones.
to 8.
I watched
finished
it
that.
after
That
the
was-
fact.
That was good.
Yeah, so guys, if you're listening to us, would love to hear from you. What are your favorite movies? What movies or what TV shows, have influenced you? What's a TV show you've connected with lately? I mean, hey, we want to hear all of it. And you can still call us on 252-756-2008. And you can also drop us a message across social media at Pitt Perspectives. You can also email us at hello.pitperspectives@gmail.com. I was going to say at ecu.edu. Yes. So something else too.
Yeah.
Which other one? Yeah. So yes, with Prison Break, I think one of my favorite characters was T-Bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
TV.
bag guy. Yeah, dude was, and that was a very difficult character
And
to
you're
play
the
too.
first person I ever met that liked T-Bag.
Oh, yeah?
Everybody hates T-Bag, but
Yeah, I
that's-
mean, hey, I don't know. I'm not admitting to anything, but yeah, but like it was just about something about how difficult it was, and he
like
sort of
the way his
embodied.
character is portrayed.
Yeah, he
You
embodied.
cannot like the guy.
Yeah, I get
The whole
I
point
get
is
what
to
you mean.
hate the guy.
Right. But the thing is, the fact that he had this survival instinct.
Oh yeah.
Bro, dude literally cut off his hands or
Yes,
something
to
at some
survive.
point.
Yes,
You
he
see what I
did.
mean?
And he carried his hand in a bag. in
Right.
a
So
prison.
it's something I mean, that resilience is something I sort of admire. I was going to talk about, yes, Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Oh,
love
Ted
Ted
Lasso,
Lasso. Yes,
him
and
playing
I'll
manager.
tell you why too. So, a lot of people, especially in this part of the world, they are not. I mean, soccer is growing, our football is growing here. And to be able to communicate all that, you needed an avenue, you needed a conduit, right? So Ted Lasso was that for a lot of people. So he brought football, American football, and soccer, and sort of put it side by side. So for a lot of people, I've met people at the games in Greenville United for whom like Ted Lasso was their first introduction to the game.
I think I would understand that, because as a filmmaker, when I decided to start making films and all, I started watching a lot of films.
Right.
And I noticed that I did not see any soccer film. Like a
Right.
film, they were usually American football, basketball.
right,
soccer.
right.
Do you understand?
Or even documentaries like for soccer
Like,
audiences
I did not
too.
see any movie that was made
For soccer.
for maybe a soccer character or something.
I think
in my head I thought it was impossible to make a film
Okay.
that talked about soccer. And I
Right.
started
So
making.
there's no movie on Pele.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
saying
those
there's
are
no
like
movie. I'm saying
biopics
when I
and all
started
that.
watching.
I mean, like,
I'm saying when I started watching
fiction
those
and
movies,
stuff,
in
yeah.
my head, my whole idea was it was not possible to make a film about soccer. It was later I now realized that wait, most of the movies that we watched, international movies were Hollywood movies, were American films,
Right.
And soccer is not that big in America.
right, right.
So
I mean,
maybe
it's big.
so
too, but
now
I see what you mean.
it's not big.
America is big.
I'm saying
So
compared
it's
to other
relative. Yeah,
sports,
now
it's
okay.
not.
That's what I wanted to hear though.
Do you know how many movies on basketball? Do you know how many movies?
Yeah.
On,
I get what you
on-
mean.
On
I'm
football?
not
Do you know how many movies we have on,
On
even
baseball, yeah.
those
I mean, I get
other
what you mean,
sports?
but I'm just
So, but for me
making
to
my
find it
point,
difficult
too.
to get a movie made for soccer, it
Right.
means, I mean, do you understand
I see
what I'm
what you
saying?
mean,
So,
and
and
then it's
because
about
most of those
markets, yeah.
movies coming in were
Right.
from America,
Right.
and that actually leads me to my next point: the fact that there is a way that media shapes the way we view the world.
Yep.
For
yep.
example, like you've mentioned this on the show before, that when you first came to America, you thought it snowed
right, right,
everywhere.
right.
You thought everywhere had skyscrapers, because those were the things we saw in movies.
Right.
And then I'm sure that on the flip side of things, there are people here too who probably think that when you go to Africa,
Yeah, we live in mud houses.
You understand, and then
we
you see
cover
lions
clothes
on the
with-
road, and I'm
Yeah, I
like,
told you, I've been active in fights with lions and tigers.
do you understand?
too, yeah.
And that's what Chimamanda was saying in that
Yeah, the-
TED talk.
Okay, danger of a single
Danger of a
story.
single
And I
story.
think it's interesting too to think about how media reinforces stereotypes.
Yes,
too. I mean,
yes,
we've talked about
absolutely.
the whole accents thing. There's a trope about the angry black woman I've had in movies and stuff, especially like
Yeah.
Tyler Perry movies and stuff, and all that. And I think one of the things, and we also mentioned briefly about what kind of stories we'd like to see.
Yeah.
And I think I always, I'm always for the underdog, just because, all my life I've been doubted. I mean, I like being doubted actually, like the 0888 or something movie that was
Yeah,
big
688.
then. Yeah, it was such a big, powerful thing to tell those stories. You see how
Yeah.
powerful that story was too, and I think people don't realize it because it's subtle.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, America's biggest export is the culture.
Yeah.
And a lot of that culture is in the media.
Yeah.
I mean, think about a lot of the issues we have, or, that's in the conversation. The media shapes, I mean, I dare say, well, obviously, the media creates culture.
Yes, absolutely.
There are
Yeah.
certain things that we are like a no-brainer, but the moment it's being portrayed in in movies, slowly
Yeah,
but
because
surely,
people
like to emulate
slowly,
what they
and
see.
then it's
Yeah.
also interesting because you are not aware of this in any conscious way. You see the thing, it's mostly unconscious and subconscious for the most part, So yes, yes, I've also been interested in the whole Israel, the Middle East generally. So I've
Oh, we
been
have a caller on
okay,
the
we have a
line.
call on the line.
But I think
But
we probably
yeah,
have to-
we'll probably
let's-
take the
let's
call
think
and
we can tell
then
them to, yeah.
yes. Good morning. We are live on Awesome Radio and it's Pitt Perspectives. Good morning. Who are we with this morning?
morning. It's Denishka.
Oh, good morning, Danishika. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, Danishika, please, can you hold on one beat on the line while we'll go
Sure.
on this quick break and we'll be back right after the break? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Daniel from Greenville. We appreciate you for listening to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU Radio in Greenville.
Yes. Good morning, Danishika. Are you still with us on the line?
Yes, I am still
Oh,
here.
yes. Great to hear from you. Great to hear from you. Yes. Yeah, well, it's great to hear from you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're
Yeah,
amazing,
Yeah,
and
great.
they are annoying, but hey, yeah, I can't, you know. Yeah, so the Nishika, we're talking about media, we're talking about representation, we're talking about stories. So we've been asking all show, like, what's your top three TV show, movies, media, any of those things?
Okay. So my first one, hopefully this is a no judgment zone.
It is a no
Because
judgment zone, actually.
I'm a Disney girl, so I love all
Aw.
things
Yeah.
Disney. So, seeing, I think it was 1995,
What's that?
Rogers and Hammerstein's Cinderella
Oh,
Oh,
Cinderella.
Disney
Okay.
version.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, with Brandy and Whitney Houston and Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie because one is Disney, but two, it showed, that a black girl can be a princess.
Oh.
Before then, you didn't see, a black princess.
Oh, wow.
So to have a young lady that had braids and, singing, and it was just all the things, and I just loved it.
Mm.
I could watch it every day
Oh,
and
wow.
sing all the songs.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then my second one, Victor, I told you about this the other day, is the TV show called Living Single.
Yes, Living Single.
that
Yes,
was-
I remember that.
Yes, that was aired from like 93 to like 98.
Oh, wow.
I was probably a little too young watching it at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but as I grew and watched reruns, I think what I liked the most about it is that it was people that looked like me, and it gave like stories about true struggles with like friendship and relationships
Wow.
and issues at work, and like it was just refreshing to see different perspectives on things.
Right.
And yeah, I enjoyed seeing Max.
Wow.
He's a lawyer, a strong, independent, bold woman. I just love the representation on the show.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then my third one was, I was going to do Black Panther, but then I said I would choose something else, but somebody else already picked that one.
Oh, wow.
I would probably do The Woman King.
The
That one
Woman
was pretty
King.
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of it.
I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, wow.
I watched it a couple of times. It's something about strong black women that gets me.
Oh, yeah, you are
So,
not the
yeah.
only one. There's something about strong black women that gets me too.
Yes, so those are my top three.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's, we were talking about this just, I'm sure you heard us about how powerful, media is in shaping
Yes.
how we see the world. And something else I watched too, just in that same line, was I think Aquila and the Bee. I remember I've connected so powerfully to, especially the Maya Angelou Maya Angelou quotes, about how, our greatest fear in life is not that we are inadequate, it's that we are too powerful beyond,
Yes.
I think that was really powerful. They were
Yeah, I love that movie.
yeah, I've watched movies and I've probably teared up and all too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strong black man, but
Uh-uh.
yeah, that's
funny enough, the most recent of those movies would be the one with the Serena Williams story.
Okay. King Richard or
King
something?
Richard, yeah.
Oh yeah, you watched King
Yeah,
Richard?
when I watched it, I actually shed
Oh,
tears.
wow.
Like, and it was not that I was just trying to connect to what was going on.
Right.
So it was.
Wow,
it
that's
was-
amazing. Hey, Danishika. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much. I know you got a movie recommendation from AY the other time.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
No, she did.
Oh, she did?
She, in fact, she wrote a review on it.
Oh
and
wow.
it was
We should
beautiful,
publish
yeah.
that somewhere too.
Yeah, I think we
She's
should.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's a great, I'm sure she's a great writer too.
Yes, yes.
Hey, thank you so much, Danishika. We appreciate. Yes, and it was great seeing you at the Greenville United game last week. Hopefully you can make it out to the final game of the season, and then if you feel up to it, you come to the rowdy section, to the box brigade, and come beat some drums with us. Okay? You're always welcome.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Have a good one.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
yes. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh wow, where has the time gone?
Yeah, it really has been flying. So before,
Yes.
before anything else, we have to wrap things up and highlight some upcoming events.
Yeah.
And so the first we have is Greenville United is going to be facing Port City today for their final home game, and that is tonight at 7 p.m. at John Paul II Catholic High School Stadium.
Yep.
Yes, I think this is for plant lovers, and it's plant swap at Pitt County Arboretum on Monday, July 7th by 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, for our weekly inspiration, I don't know if we'll have time for that. But here, when we see ourselves in stories, we find the courage to write our own,
Yeah, and tell your story, share your truth, and never forget you belong on the page, on the screen, and in the spotlight.
Yeah, and before we close off, I will highlight how media plays such a big role. That according to the movie that Vic mentioned, the series rather, Peaky Blinders, the boys, as in myself and some of my boys, went to metric dance or our prom dressed in those long Peaky Blinder.
That's
suits.
amazing, especially the hats. Too. I was on the
not the hats, we're not
but I
at
mean,
the
even for the hats, I mean, it was part of my style for some time too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, before the show, but it sort of helped make that amazing. Hey, from all of us here, it's been an amazing time with you all. We love you all, and we can't wait to have you all back next week. Thank you so much, and always keep listening to Awesome Radio and Pitt Perspectives. Don't touch the dial.